Hey, hi, welcome back to Digit.in. My name is Vignesh. Now, when we came back from Computex back in May, we figured that Asus had a huge list of laptops to show us this year. And this is one of them right here. This is the ROG Zephyrus M GU502. And check it out. The sticker inside says Intel Core i7 9th Gen. Let's see how it did in our review. Let's start with the build and design. According to Asus, the new Zephyrus is 25% thinner and 45% lighter than typical 15-inch laptops. Now, in my experience, I felt the laptop was about the same size and weight as any other 15.6-inch model, but it weighed surprisingly less for a gaming laptop. Picking up the laptop with one hand and moving from one bedroom to another was an unexpectedly easy affair. The brushed metallic lid offered sufficient grip as well. The top cover, which despite displaying some signs of flex, is ruggedly built and hard-wearing. The area around the keyboard uses a soft touch paint that's similar to the material Dell uses in some of its G-series gaming laptops. The effect it creates is pleasing. The palm rest is comfortable enough for many hours of keyboard use. In the hands, the laptop looks understated yet bold. It doesn't scream out loud with bright colors and lights, but it doesn't look lost in a collection of mainstream laptops either. The biggest visual change is in the design of the base panel. With the laptop not employing Asus's active aerodynamic system, the base panel remains fixed, unlike previous models in which the base panel opened up along with the display hinge to provide an additional stream of cool air. All things considered, the Zephyrus M is probably the most mature laptop of its kind yet, and that's not a bad thing at all. I personally like the way the new laptop looks and feels in the hands. Let's move on to the display. The Zephyrus M features a 15.6-inch IPS LCD screen with a full HD resolution and a 144Hz refresh rate. The matte finish keeps the screen free of glare. The display of the review unit appeared bright and colorful while watching movies, browsing on the web, and playing games. Colors appeared neither too saturated nor too washed out. The maximum brightness appeared to be sufficient for most well-lit areas. In summary then, the display on the Zephyrus is more than adequate for all types of content consumption. Sound from the two down-firing speakers of the Zephyrus M is loud but tinny. Songs sound harsh on the ears because highs are overly pronounced. Lows, on the other hand, are neither heard nor felt from the laptop speakers. Now, if you're a serious gamer, it makes more sense for you to buy a pair of headphones or 2.1 PC speakers than rely on the units offered on the Zephyrus for full, clear sound. The Zephyrus M comes with a wide range of ports for connectivity. On the left, there's a proprietary round-pin power port for charging, a LAN port, a full-size HDMI port, a USB 3.1 Gen 2 port, two separate 3.5mm audio jacks for headphones, and a microphone. Now on the right, there are two USB-A 3.1 ports and a USB-C 3.1 Gen 2 port, which incorporates DisplayPort 1.4 and features PD charging using a suitable power bank. The right side also features a Kensington lock slot for added security. Now sadly, there's no fingerprint scanner on board. What about the keyboard then? Well, the keyboard has got to be the Zephyrus M's most finely engineered element. The keys on this gaming laptop have just the right amount of spacing, travel, and resistance. Typing long documents and emails on the RGB backlit unit is a breeze. I particularly like that it has dedicated keys for home and page up and page down functions, which are very useful for text manipulation. In addition, there are 4 dedicated shortcut keys for controlling the volume, muting the microphone, and launching Asus's proprietary Armoury Crate app for lighting customization and performance management. The keyboard on the Zephyrus M features Perky Rgb Lighting customization through the bundled Armoury Crate app, which means you can play mix and match with the various colors and lighting options that the app offers. The lighting pattern on the keyboard can also be switched using the function and arrow keys. In summary then, the Zephyrus M has one of the best keyboard units ever made by Asus in recent times. The Zephyrus M's finely engineered keyboard is complemented by an equally finely engineered touchpad. Windows recognizes it as a precision unit, which means all the settings regarding multi-finger taps and swipes can be modified within Windows settings. The touchpad is easy to use for everyday mouse pointer operations such as clicking, double-clicking, swiping, and dragging. What about performance then? Everyday performance of the review unit was faultless. I was able to multitask on numerous applications such as Chrome, File Explorer, Adobe Lightroom, and Microsoft Store simultaneously across multiple virtual desktops. The fact that I was downloading games and updating drivers in the background made little difference to the overall speed, which is excellent news for performance lovers. Bringing up Task View in Windows 10 multiple times successively did not result in a lag or stutter in the animation. Okay, what about gaming then? Now that's what we're really here for. Gaming was mostly a pleasant experience on the review unit. Most of the titles from our test battery ran on full HD at an average frame rate of over 60 frames per second without any signs of lag or stuttering. Apex Legends clocked the highest as it ran on Ultra at an average frame rate of 89 frames per second. Turning it down to high bumped the average frame rate up to 97 frames per second. Doom was a close second at 89 frames per second on Ultra and 93 frames per second on high. Crysis 3 ran on Ultra at an average frame rate of 70 frames per second but jumped to 99 frames per second when the setting was lowered to high. Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice ran on Ultra at an average frame rate of 57 and 54 frames per second respectively, but picked up the pace by about 10 frames per second when the setting was brought down to high. In a similar test, Battlefield 5 jumped from an average frame rate of 45 frames per second to 52 frames per second. While the aforementioned games ran mostly smoothly at any given setting without any noticeable lags or stutters, they taxed the powertrain inside enough to send the mercury soaring up to figures above 70 degrees Celsius. Even in an air-conditioned cabin, where the room temperature was about 24 degrees Celsius, the heat from the vents on the sides of the laptop could easily be felt. The average temperature we recorded around the rear vents was 73 degrees Celsius. The average temperature around the WASD keys was 46 degrees Celsius. Though it's characteristic of gaming laptops to have noisy fans when the GPU and CPU are maxed out, I found the fan noise on the review unit to be exceptionally high. When the fan mode was switched from balanced to turbo, the noise grew to a fever pitch. What about the battery then? On our standard battery benchmark test, the review unit lasted 2 hours 22 minutes, which is the lowest score we've seen from a gaming laptop in the past. In everyday scenarios, the review unit lost close to 40% of its charge in about an hour's time. During the test, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth were turned on and the screen brightness was set to 75%. During the test, I multitasked on Chrome, File Explorer, and other everyday applications. When I played a TV show on Hotstar using Chrome at full screen brightness with the audio routed through a pair of headphones, the battery fell from 58% to 43% in just 20 minutes, charging the laptop from near zero back to full to close to 2 full hours. In summary then, the Zephyrus M is not the machine to go for if you plan to spend time away from the wall socket. All things considered, I think the GU502 is a really impressive machine. I was impressed most by its keyboard right here, the touchpad, and the display. But what I was not impressed by was the amount of heat and noise it produced, especially while gaming. Well, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I will see you in the next one. Ta-ta!
For the latest technology updates, subscribe to Digit.in and don't forget to hit the bell icon.